You do see this side come out, that there's like the good and the bad and the ugly of sport.
The common denominator here is the child. The coach is trying to develop the child, the parent's trying to develop the child, and they have to be on board together.
It's young people playing hockey, not hockey players. You know, you always have to remember there's kids out there.
Everybody's always going to have somebody in their life, or somebody on the team, or coach, trainer, whatever it might be, other players even, that are kind of that person that doesn't think they have a problem, but they do.
All those other people that you think, oh, they're just unreasonable hockey parents, are just like you. Or the vast majority, right? There's extremes, but the majority who do unreasonable things in there, outside of the rink, they're a great person. There's not a problem, right? And so I think that's an important bit of introspection. People have to realize that, no, you are that hockey parent.
I can feel myself getting caught up in it, in the excitement of it, and wanting him to do his best. And even though you're hoping for the character building that comes from hockey and from sport in general, there's that, you want them to win. You want them to feel, you know, to score, to have that feeling of doing great.
When you're a mom, you're always a mom, and you have that protective mode, and you always think that you can be there. And so reading Allison's book was like a big eye-opener, because I wish I had read that before, because I probably wouldn't have taken to heart a lot of things that sort of happened, or might have had a better understanding of why it's going that way.
If you read the book when you're young and starting in through the system, that maybe you're going to think twice about how you're going to react to situations.
The book would be a great thing for someone who hasn't experienced it to go in and say, okay, this is what I can expect, okay? You know, it'll be easier to catch yourself a little bit when maybe you're kind of going, whoa, this is not right. This isn't right for my kid, right? Give you a little bit of perspective to start out.
I loved it. I'm not a reader, and when I picked it up, I didn't put it down. I finished it in one reading, basically, all afternoon.
It's just so real and easy, and you either know somebody or you're that person, and that's who you're reading about.
I admire her strength to sort of put her vulnerability out there, like just throw it out there. And if every parent really took that to heart and understood, it'd be like, wow, this isn't as hard of a game as what some parents think.
That very first lesson in the book about don't force your passion on your kids was just, it was a big eye-opener for me, that this is not your experience, this is theirs.
It was an excellent read. It was funny, it made me cry in spots. It was just because I really resonated with it.
Because in the grand scheme of things, I don't know what the percentage of kids that end up somewhere with their hockey, it's not very high, but you really want them to be a good person, and you want them to be happy and confident in who they are and to do well in life. Hockey's minor. It's just minor.
I found it such a warm book, and you know, she hits the nail on the head with, you know, how people are and how they come out of their body when they get into the rink, you know.
I always tell everybody that it's just funny, and it's also, it just speaks to a lot of things that we can relate to.
Well, she's seen these issues, she's seen that it was an issue, but she didn't just sit and whine, she did something about it. She put a book out there, and she said, here, I'm going to share some of my experiences with you.
Like, it is a story about hockey, but it's, you know, it's so much more than that. It can be, the lessons and the themes are definitely across all sports and just parenting in general.
And that's why I really hope this book gets out there, and that all families read it and really read it and take those messages at the beginning of the season and make a commitment to themselves that they're going to run by those examples.